If I gave my heart to you, girl. If I gave my heart to you, girl, I wanna know, am I looking in the right direction? Am I receiving your full attention? Or am I wasting my time? I wanna know, do you promise to love me dearly and never go away and leave me with just bitterness inside? And I'm not ashamed for being so cautious, for love ain't a game. No, it ain't a game. So if I gave my heart to you, what would you do with it? Would you tear it apart, or would you look after it? If I gave my heart to you, what would you do with it? Would you tear it apart, or would you treasure it? Or what is the point in starting something you can't continue? With a broken heart, first aid can't help you.
Okay. Tell us something about what you heard today with Mad Professor.
You know something? He's spoke about his record label and all the artists he worked from, and I just like to hear their journey.
Yeah? Yeah. What is your history with Lovers Rock? What do you remember from back in the day?
You know something? Oh, that brings back good memories for me. They aspired, Lovers Rock aspired me, as there was once upon a time when I was singing and songwriting. I used to sing and songwrite because I wanted to be just like the artist as well.
Yeah.
So I've got lots of music out there what hasn't been done nothing to, but I don't sing anymore, but it still inspires me. They were an inspiration to me, and they will always be. It's in my blood, it's in my bones.
Okay, my name is Ruben. I'm a local man. I'm from like that era where Lovers Rock in particular was very significant to the younger black generation, you know, especially here in England. And it's just good that we have these good artists that have made a big contribution in music, and we're very proud of the likes of the Mad Professor, who has been in it from the early days and is still in it today, you know. It was a very good session, very good gathering, and it's nice that, you know, we have some of the memories whereby the exhibition gives a very balanced example of what used to happen back in the day, and it just, you know, reminds us that, look, we've had a good time with a lot of Lovers Rock music.
It's my first one on a Lovers Rock exhibition, and I was very starstruck by Mad Professor, I must admit. But I did manage to calm down because I was, ooh, I don't normally get like that.
What's your history with Mad Professor?
I'm really a collector of his music. That's my history. Of him personally, nothing. But I knew where his studio's always been, because anyone who lives in Croydon knows where the real studios are. So we've always known that he's been down in White Horse Lane. But, like I said, I'm a selector DJ, and my history is buying his music.
Do you have a favourite from Mad Professor?
I think it's going to be that John McCleans track. If I gave you my heart, if I give my heart. That must be, for us in the 80s, that was a big track. So I think I would say John McCleans track is one of my favourites.
My name is Demetre, I come from Croydon. I'm here because I've been a Lovers Rock fan and collector for many years. And here today to see the Mad Professor. I think his productions, particularly in the late 80s, are absolutely exquisite, and they're one of the things that got me into this music. I started collecting probably about 1993, but I'd been listening to it since about 86, 87. I was tuning the dial and I tuned in. I found that more appealing than other things that were on the popular radio stations at the time. And as I got more into it, I was just thinking, well, why aren't these the hits? And and I just got into it more and more.
How did you get into like collecting all this stuff? Because you've got a serious archive.
I think it's you discover something you like, and then you think, well, this is connected to it in some way, so let's see what this is, and let's see what this is, and let's see what this is. And it was before the internet, and the way of finding them was through the records. So you almost had to get the records to hear the records. I've started getting the newspapers and magazines more recently, so I just felt that you stumble across these things, and then you think, I'd like to, get more of that.
It was very good. It was nice to hear his backstory and how he became or got to where he is now. That was really good. But we enjoy Lovers Rock, but it can probably still have a place at the time. But I think it's probably going a little bit. It's probably going to end with our generation because our youngsters aren't Lovers Rock kids and people. Yeah, but it's good.
What do you think's happened to our youngsters? Why Lovers Rock? Because love is universal. What's happened?
I think Lovers Rock is maybe for them it's a little bit flat, and they like to have a bit more beat to their music, and Lovers Rock doesn't give them that.
I'm Muta Anu. I used to be part of the band Private Collection, and we are here almost every Saturday. We come here from 2 p.m. for the UK Lovers Rock session. Something not to be missed. And in fact, it's like a reconnaissance. We go back to hear the real deal, straight from the front row, from the horse's mouth, as you say, from the artist's mouth. Those whom you may not have remembered, or you might have just heard about. But you can come here every Saturday, touch fists, and ask them interpersonal questions. I haven't actually met Neil Fraser before, so it's fantastic. I've heard so much about him. I've got all his dub albums. I've followed all his artists that he's produced. So it's fabulous to actually put those personal questions to Mad Professor, aka Neil Fraser.
My name is Lorna G, aka Sotara. Where'd I come from? Brixton, basically. And what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Come to support, innit?
It's about this.
Come to support Mad Prof, Reggae Fraternity, CB Multimedia, Lovers Rock Exhibition. It's all ties in hand. It's all merging. Supporting reggae music.
When was the first time you went up to the studio? And how old was he?
I think I was about maybe 20. And yeah, it's a story because it was all because of Sir Lloyd when I did the live at Dick Shepherd Youth Centre, the DJ roll call thing, and then Sir Lloyd brought it to Professor to mix the album. Professor heard me, was like, "Oh, who's that?" And I was and he told him about me, and that's how it all happened, really. I'll tell you the story. I was signing on at the time, in between jobs, but I saw Linton Kwesi Johnson. I went to Gyro place on Cold Harbour Lane, arguing with them for my gyro. I saw Linton Kwesi Johnson, and he said to me, "I whoop your beer and yourself, you know." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I can't really catch a break, Linton. I'm trying to work. I can't get a proper job. I'm signing on. My gyro's not coming. Boom, 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 boom." And then I told him that Sir Lloyd has come up with this opportunity to record a record. And I said to him, "But I've got no lyrics. I don't know what to write to." And he said to me, "What you just told me about your gyro, write about that." And the rest is history. So blame it on Linton Kwesi Johnson. 3 weeks gone and my gyro no come.
You see Coxon, that's me find myself, Coxon sound. Seeing?
What year?
And I joined Coxon 81. But I've been listening to Coxon a long time. Me and my Virgin Bike is red. We used to go a country, Birmingham and all them places to go listen to Coxon. You know, seeing music, DJing, Uri give me inspiration. See me? I never grew up to say, well, I want to be an artist or them thing there. It came to me and took me. It was a hobby. You know, seeing my first tune, Walk and Skank. What can I say? Mash up the place. Then they sample it and ropes, drum and bass or whatever, and it mash up again. Blacker come to me, you know, Blacker Jet come to me and say, Screechie, see the new dance here. I'm up on the mic, you know, and the antenna and I go on and the place a bubble and he says, Screechie, see the new dance here, walk and skank. And straight away I had my own style. I say, now all and pull up. Because enough man say now all and pull up, you know, but you see Screechie want something. I say, now all and pull up. I have a drink, I want to take a sup. Hey, badai, bawada dai de eng badai, badai, bawada dai de eng badai, eng bada da wadla dai de. Guan, one can come and say one, and the place tear down. And Blacker come to me and said, tomorrow, studio.
My name is Jennysis. I'm a radio DJ. Run my radio station with a colleague.
What's the name of the station?
It's called Ruben Generation Radio. And I heard about the event that was happening through another one of my friends, David Reed. And I thought, you know what, it sounds interesting, something that I should be into, see if I can make some contacts. And thought I'd come down. So it was a nice event. It was a nice event.
Had you heard of Memphis Festival?
Of course, from back in the day. You know, especially the record label, the ARIWA record label. Lovers Rock was one of the things that I've been into since about 15, 16, so it's always followed me through. Still play it now, still play some of the tunes that was played today. And it's just amazing to see the person behind the music and knowing the history of what they're about. Because like, oftentimes we hear the music, but we don't know where the person's coming from, the struggles that they went through to get through to where they are now, and just to appreciate the contribution that he's made to reggae music as a whole. There's a lot of that are keeping going, but it's different now. The era is different, the environment is different, where you can go and listen to the music is different, so it's a lot of changes. But I don't think that's so much the reason why it's kind of fallen away. Because you can still hear the music, especially if you go to the house parties, you can still hear the music. And the sounds do tend to bring it back as well. But I suppose like we need to get to reach a different generation of people. Because a lot of people like my age, our age, they'll remember Lovers Rock, and there was a big explosion of it in the late 70s to early 80s. Now, the sound is slightly different, but I want it to appeal to like my children's age group. Because we're the ones that still interested, from what I see anyway, we're the ones that still interested in the Lovers Rock. It needs to start filtering down now.
Where did you used to rave back in the day?
Boy, I used to sneak out to Bouncing Ball, People's Club. I was underage, but I used to get out there and get to the raves. I don't know how I managed to get to Paddington, all the way from Croydon, but yeah, I used to try to get there where all the big guns were going. I didn't really know what I was doing, I was just following the elder sister.
Where didn't I rave? All Nations, Wakey, Palm Street, obviously North London.
Stereograph, Frontline, Safana B, yeah, all the Brixton sounds. I suppose that there'd be newer, the Soloids, the JB crew.
Blues dance and house party. When they must say about rub-offs, the pleat out their skirt. Enough man nowadays are youth nowadays. They don't know what we are talking about when it's them thing there.
It was on the radio, not a dance.
No? You go to no dances?
No.
Used to kind of follow the house parties. There were more house parties when I was coming up then. And then a bit later on, going to places like All Nations and stuff like that. But yeah, the music has just been ongoing right the way. And it's great to see how the music is changing, but how the interest, especially in Lovers Rock, is still there.
When we came down to South London, it was Granaries, the club that Sister Rose used to own, I forgot the name of that one. So yeah, we tried the South London side, but it's so far to come down.
Enough man, you know, get them wife and girlfriend, you know. And enough woman get their husband and boyfriend, you know, for Lovers Rock, you know.
Anna,
Yeah.
you see, this is my boss here, you know. The CEO, my boss. It's an honor. It's an honor to be here at the WGLA. That's what I can say.
Come on, boss, tell us about today.
Well, today has been one of the fabulous days, as it always been. Big up to Colin, he's the one who helped me to bring this here. And if it wasn't me bucking him up, we wouldn't be here at all. You know, every day, every Saturday, he is out here with the people then, the artists, the musicians, the singers, the people who do the admin, the people who just want to hear about it. And this is what makes it fun. I keep telling everybody, come down here.
Calm down.
We've only got a few more weeks left, right? We've been here since January. January the 14th, we had the big launch. We actually started on January the 10th. Our last day is going to be a big sing-along with the reggae.
So I'm Deborah Klass. I come from Croydon. I'm a Croydon girl through and through. And I'm the CEO of the Windrush Generation Legacy Association charity. And it was started originally by my dad, Michael Harry, and he's deceased. And I took over the charity after he passed away in 2019. And so we've gone from strength to strength. We started off with a front room exhibition, and we really were promoting that exhibition to schools, community groups, and the general public. And it was all about heritage, knowing where you come from, and so knowing where you're going to, and celebrating all the rich achievements of the Windrush generation. When we first opened our doors in August 2021, it was therapeutic for so many people to come here and to, in a nostalgic way, to see their old front room. And so in that first week, what we saw was so many people come in here and cry. Cry with happiness, because actually it was really fond memories, and in some ways some uncomfortable memories as well, but nonetheless it was it related to them. It was something that they felt good about within. And so it's about the heritage and the stories, and a lot of people said when they came in here, because actually this area behind us where we've got the Lovers Rock exhibition was actually all stories from people and their journey coming to England and their experiences. And so many people came in and they said, do you know what, I wish I asked my parents to tell me their story. And so seeing all of these stories helps me, because it gives me an understanding of what my parents endured when they were here. And so I always say to people, speak, share, because this is our heritage and we don't want it lost, we don't want it forgotten.
So I'm Sandra, I'm one of the people who started up this exhibition. It has been a passion for me to learn about my history, right? And that is purely because when I was growing up and I wanted to know information, there was no one to get this information from. And I thought, if I want to know and I can't get to know, what about the people that are coming up after me? So, as we chuck these things away in this skip, that's our history. You go to other museums and you find the history of whoever, whenever. I mean, look at that program, family, long lost families or whatever. We ain't got that here. We've only got our storytelling, because that's what we do. We tell stories to our younger generation, they pass it on. But once we stop doing that, it's gone. And if there's no record, why won't we know about our past history, right? So I said, in order to, help us to remember and to share those journeys that our grandparents and great-grandparents had, then this is what we do. All right, so this is how we got started. A coming together of a couple of minds, couple of ideas, and we linked up and we formed this.
Okay, speaking on the Lovers Rock thing today, Mad Professor was in the house today. What's your history of knowledge of Mad Professor?
Oh wow, I mean, definitely my youth, and certainly when many of the songs I could actually associate with a moment in time, which is what you do, right, with good music. And so If I Give My Heart to You was one of those ones, and I was just like, oh my goodness.
Was you in love back then?
Oh, in love or in lust. I don't know which one it was, but definitely it's one of those starry-eyed moments.
Well, you see, I've always been a Lovers Rock fan. I grew up in that time, that era, with that genre of music. My parents liked to listen to music as well. So one day Colin was passed in and he was talking about what he was talking about, and I said, show me. Okay, then he told me that he was going to be having an exhibition in West London. Oh, it's a bit far. I said, a bit far, it's in London, I'm not coming from Jamaica. So yeah, I went up there, I had a look, and I liked what I saw. We've done a couple of tweaks, we had a discussion, and here we are.
The man himself, Mr. CB.
Yeah,
how do you think it went today?
Oh, well, listen, we got a legend in the place. This guy, Mad Professor, 44 years in the business. Amazing, longevity, and passing the baton to his son Joe.
That's what it's all about. Some people talk the talk, but he walks the walk. We have been reaching out to the producers from the 70s era. We've reached into although Professor started 79, he's the only one that stepped up to come here and tell us about the business. Okay, so that's why I've got the most respect for this man. And, you know, he's a world icon, not just a UK, world icon, because he's still traveling now. The audience were just enthralled. We were all just mesmerized. And to hear the history that we hear today, the half that's never been told, the ARIWA story, which is a continuation of what started in 1970s. And he's broader than just Lovers Rock. You know, he does the dub scene, he does roots and everything, and he's still doing it now. We've been on an amazing journey. We've heard stories we've never heard before, and that's the energy, isn't it? The fact that you know, it's not about going to the same people over and over again. It's about giving everyone who was there in a period their time or a chance to tell their story. So I know lots of the artists that never had the accolade that they deserve. We're playing their music and we've never given them the chance to tell their story. Here is the time. The time is now. Let's not wait till they're past on, you know, before we say, oh yeah, they were great and whatever. Do it while they're alive. Give them their flowers now. And that's what this is all about.
I think the turnout is impressive to see so many people in London coming to talk and discuss about Lovers Rock. Yeah?
Because you're more international now, isn't it? Sounds like you're in Australia and New Zealand.
We're everywhere.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's fun.
Everything's running smooth still.
It never runs smooth.
Do you remember your first session?
First recording session?
Your first recording session?
Yeah, I remember.
Who was it? Come on, tell us something.
Was the musicians.
Yeah.
Wasn't a singer. I was just laying rhythms. There's a brother named Kingsley on drums, Preacher on bass, Norman Star Collins was on keyboard. Guitar was a brother named boy, I have to look up his name.
Longtime, isn't it? Do you think, right, because the sound systems are not really there so much no more, do you think that has an effect on...
You mean the black sound system?
The black sound system.
You want to see the mountain white man running song?
Come on, tell us.
A lot. All over the world.
All over the world.
Germany, France.
Big sound as well.
Yeah. And they're putting money into this thing. I was in New Zealand the other day. Some white people running songs. Young white people. 20, 21, 22. And they're taking the money, they're buying boxes, they're building boxes. Yeah.
And a proper old school sound system like back in the day, isn't it?
Song system is song system. I mean, what is it?
But it seems like we're not doing it.
Why black people doing it?
Why are we not doing it?
You know, I asked my sons and daughters this years ago. They're not interested. I don't know why. Most black youngsters, I don't know if it's the idea of carrying boxes, but I don't know. I think black people just need to give time to a hobby that could become a career. I think a lot of people don't give time. They expect it to happen like this.
So it's like the market has changed now. And how do you feel about that?
I don't know if the market changed.
The clientele.
White people after music more than black people. I think most black people are after something quick and instant, or something not going to give them more money quickly.
So what would your advice be to the youngsters listening to this?
Boy, you know what? I have 4 children, and I've been asking myself that question. I can't find the answer. but they need to find themselves. Music could be a great career, but you have to see the vision, you have to take it serious. I don't know what to advise them to do. I mean, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I want to, but they need to see the picture. I don't even know if I could advise. They have to really see the goal, and go for the goal.
That's the honest answer you got there.
Yeah.
All right, lastly, what's in the future for Mad Professor?
But I don't deal with clairvoyance. I don't deal with clairvoyance, so I don't deal with...
You deal with it now?
Yeah, I don't deal with the future.
So, where we go from here then?
Boy, tomorrow is another day. Let's deal with that.
Yeah.
Mad Professor taught the thing today, and respect. It's a long time me hear of him, and then it's a long time since me know of him. You know, seeing, and him taught the thing as a big man in the business. So we have to respect them, man. They look when them man they are come. You know, seeing, when him start, I must have been, I don't know, 19, 20, something like that. I don't know, but him start, and me hear the tune them. Like I said, enough people hear the tune, but they don't even know say him. They never know say him. Today we are here how much tune because enough tune do, and I still never know say it's him. And a Coxon make me know who Mad Professor was. You know, seeing, and for them tune there and them Lovers Rock tune there and rate it.
I tell you, it's an exhibition which is needed, and we need to archive it, and we need our new generation and the young generation to pick up the slack and keep it moving. Because we're never going to get this back again, ever. As far as I know. And a lot of the old Lovers Rock artists, they are still alive. And these are the people who should be on shows like the Giants of Lovers Rock. And they need to be picked up. Love and Emotion, Simplicity, who are Sidonians, all need to be picked up and put on that platform and to perform.
All credit to Colin for doing what he's done. I think to put this together has been absolutely fantastic. First up in North London and now here, it's been here for 3 months. He's got all of these artists together to tell their stories. Really, nobody's done it before. Nobody's even really, I don't know if anyone's even thought of doing anything like this before. He's done an absolutely fantastic job.
Great show, guys. It's been really good, and it's nice to see something positive for black people. Something like this in North London would be good, but it was nice, and they've done really, really well to produce this. Yeah.
I wish this kind of thing could happen, you know, very, very often.
It is my first session here. I've enjoyed it. I'm looking to come back next week. So looking forward to the next one.
And you're going to big it up on your show too?
I'm going to big it up on my show. I very much am.
Brother Colin, phenomenal. He turned 63 two Wednesdays ago. And he's still got all his hair. Also with sister Sandra, brother Everall. They're doing a phenomenal work. They've actually managed and arranged this phenomenal exhibition and taken it from strength to strength, and I think it can go on for the whole year actually, because the artists that have come here, we've had to rush. They've actually need to come back again and do a part 2.
Big up CB and big up everybody belonging to the Windrush Generation.
I want to put CB Multimedia in a frame because he deserves MBE, OBE, CBE. So yes, I've got to give him a whole heap of humble blessings. He's done a fantastic job. And I'm glad he's invited us along to support him.
If I gave my heart to you, what if I gave my heart to you?